So the new Don't Hug Me I'm Scared TV show has been released, at least in the UK. However, many have re-uploaded it, so despite me not being in the UK, I've seen it. A pro tip though, support its official release in your region when it comes out. It shows that people are excited for it. Speaking of excitement, this new TV show is amazing and honestly just beats everything the web series had going. Sure, it's not terrifyingly gory or whatever, but it has this dark sense of humor that I really dig. If you remember, in September of 2018, the Don't Hug Me I'm Scared YouTube channel posted a video called Wakey Wakey, which was basically a teaser for this pilot episode. It has, however, been taken down. Therefore, we're going to talk about what happened with the pilot, Wakey Wakey, and where it went. So with that being said, sit back, relax, grab a snack, get some water, maybe make an arts and crafts sock puppet while you watch, and get cozy, because today, we're talking about the lost Don't Hug Me I'm Scared pilot. July 29th, 2011. A video called Don't Hug Me I'm Scared is posted to YouTube. The video currently has over 70 million views. It starts with three characters sitting in their kitchen. One is a massive red guy, another is an innocent yellow guy, and the last guy is a green duck. Suddenly, a notepad on their table springs to life, and thus a song begins. Don't Hug Me I'm Scared, or DHMIS if you don't want to keep typing it out in the script, that's addressed to me by the way, started out as a web series starring puppets and creative music. Creative is an important word here, as creativity seems to be an underlying theme throughout the series. There were 6 installments of the series, each focusing on a specific lesson or theme that would be taught to our main characters. However, things would soon distort and become twisted and evil, torturing our protagonist. We get taught things like creativity, time, love, computers in the digital world, eating healthy, and dreams. However, you probably shouldn't listen to these individuals teaching this stuff because they're all just spouting nonsense and torturing our main characters. It features puppets, some CGI, live action segments, and amazing set design. I honestly find myself amazed at how much time and effort must have gone into designing the sets. I mean, there's this outdoor one, and it looks amazing because it still has that puppet feel to it. Anyways, the series came to a close on June 19th, 2016, which is cool because every episode is set on June 19th. There's a lot of videos that dive more in depth about the story that's actually being told, but I won't talk about all that because it's ultimately up to interpretation and perspective. I won't just sit here and tell you that MatPat's video is just absolute fact. The series was created by Becky Sloan, Joe Pelling, and Baker Terry, but a bunch of other creative minds are behind the series, so seriously go check out their work, it's amazing. After the success of the web series, the Wakey Wakey video was uploaded. September 13th, 2018 saw the release of Wakey Wakey, which featured a banger soundtrack and visuals from the pilot. It showed off a city called Clay Hill and a magic blue door, and whatever the heck this thing is. At the end, it's shown that Blink Industries, Conoco, and Super Deluxe are involved. So let's take a look at some of these companies. Blink Industries actually had worked on the web series and TV series, so their involvement with the DHMIS pilot isn't too surprising. They also worked on that episode of The Amazing World of Gumball that the DHMIS crew worked on. That episode is called The Puppets, go check it out, it's cool. The company Conoco was involved with the pilot, but as far as I know, they didn't have any actual role with the creation of the TV series. I could be wrong, but I didn't see it in the credits, and the Wikipedia for the company isn't listed as a credit. Super Deluxe is credited for the pilot, but not for the actual series. This is probably because the company was bought out by Fullscreen and then completely rebranded. Before the rebrand and buyout, however, the company was owned by Turner Broadcasting System. More on that later. So out of the 3 companies that had started on the pilot, only one remains, and the company has been with DHMIS for a long time now, so it's basically to be expected. Now that we've talked about the companies, let's talk about Wakey Wakey and the context it provided for the pilot. The only dialogue in the Wakey Wakey video is just the yellow guy saying Wakey Wakey. The video heavily relies on visuals, and the music actually mirrors it and gives it such a vibe. It starts with an overview of Clay Hill, a little gated community with what looks like a tower or an obelisk or clock in the middle. It cuts to Duck Guy opening a door and looking surprised. Then it's just the red guy walking through the woods. Now we get their living room and a magical key just poofs into existence. It shows a nice animated segment with the 3 characters looking at some sort of diamond pendant. A bunch of people are now in the house and a bottle rolls off the coffee table. Red guy has binoculars, yellow guy is shocked. Duck guy is an amalgamation. There's a robot with a drill. The mayor's office is empty. There's a zoom out of Duck. Clay Hill is locked up. Then a trippy blue door. And finally, this thing. Then the title screen shows up and it shows the companies behind the pilot. The Wakey Wakey video managed to become the #1 trending video on YouTube a day later. Unfortunately, on May 24th, 2022, the video was privated on the Don't Hug Me I'm Scared YouTube channel, but re-uploads do exist. This is likely due to the fact that Wakey Wakey and the pilot have nothing to do with the TV series that would come later. So let's analyze every little shot of Wakey Wakey to see what kind of exposition it established for the pilot. Obviously, our setting is in Clay Hill. Something has happened to the mayor given how messy his office is, and in his absence, something bad happens to Clay Hill. So this trailer established conflict and showed what the show was capable of. So what happened? I looked online for any sort of answer regarding why Wakey Wakey was taken down, but given the fact that it was up for 3 years before being taken down, many assume it's simply because the final product differed so drastically from the pilot. And yeah, to an extent that's true, but that really doesn't explain why it was taken down. Because at the end of the day, the pilot still exists, and as we'll go into later, it was publicly shown at one point. In an article by The Guardian, it said that there was a town and neighbors and was quoted, "a bit South Park" by Becky Sloan. Baker Terry had said, "We also have made an attempt, and I'm going to whisper this because it almost sounds like a dirty phrase, to get an element of current affairs into it." So do what you want with that phrase, but what I'm hearing is that there's a little bit of real life influence that went into this pilot. So yeah. Bold move. So basically, the Wakey Wakey pilot was just a test demo of sorts to kind of get the feel of what they wanted. It was quite ambitious to jump from horrific adventures within the house to an entire gated community, so to be honest, I'm kind of glad that they didn't do the whole Clay Hill thing. Mainly because I like having the restriction of the house, it just gives us more continuity. I feel like if we go off and establish a whole world, it won't have the same feeling. I mean, this show feels like we're trapped, but in a good way, if that makes sense. I don't know, I might be rambling. Regardless, that's our entire background for Wakey Wakey. Yeah, crazy how a short video like that can impact the status of our pilot. Speaking of which, let's talk about its release. I use the term release very loosely. On December 3rd, 2018, the Don't Hug Me I'm Scared Facebook page made a post reading the following. "We are super excited to announce the new Don't Hug Me I'm Scared pilot has been selected for Sundance Film Festival. It will be premiering in the Indie Episodic section. Utah, here we come. I wonder what will happen." I'll tell you what happened. Festival time! So every January, the Sundance Film Festival holds a fancy little festival where people go and watch all the creative works from private sources. It's based in Utah and shows all kinds of films, and in January of 2019, the Don't Hug Me I'm Scared pilot was shown to a live audience. The pilot was shown under the indie episodic category because, indie film. The pilot was said to be half an hour in length and was one of the 12 films shown in the indie episodic category. Ultimately, the pilot itself was enough to get the show greenlit, but the final product is different and didn't follow the story set up in Clay Hill. The festival was held from January 24th through February 3rd, and although I couldn't find the exact date it was shown, it still received a lot of praise. Sundance was the only official public release and showing of the DHMIS pilot. That was until someone leaked it. It really doesn't matter if it's a concert or a festival or a theater, someone always has a cam rip of these things. So during the showing of the pilot, someone in the audience took out their phone and started recording. After the event, the pilot was uploaded onto YouTube, then taken down, then put on Google Drive, and then taken down, and then the cycle repeated. It seems that every link to this pilot goes up always gets taken down for copyright. I wonder why. The uploading of these are quite often. I actually remember seeing a Google Drive of it a few months ago, and now it's unavailable. It seems the popularity of the TV show is bringing it back into the spotlight. Strangely enough, the full pilot was not actually leaked. Only about 15 minutes of the whole pilot has ever been posted, with the remainder of the pilot only existing through screenshots and a description that's been created by people who viewed the event. A full plot summary that goes into detail about the pilot is actually available on the Don't Hug Me I'm Scared fandom site, as well as a transcript for the first 15 minutes of the episode. It's quite amazing how much this pilot has been on and off the internet. Even though the full 15 minutes are still kind of hard to find online, there are various short clips and screenshots of the Wakey Wakey pilot that find their way onto YouTube. However, that still leaves the question of where the remaining footage of the pilot might be. Some people have argued that a cam rip of the remainder doesn't exist. However, some say that there's always the possibility of someone else recording the event themselves, and that a new perspective might someday come to light. I honestly don't know where I stand on this argument. On one hand, it's likely someone might have recorded it, but on the other hand, every leaked clip is pretty much from the same cam rip as far as I can tell. Plus, why haven't we seen any other cam rips in this much time that's passed? On the fandom site's page for the pilot episode, the only two videos featured are official footage from the pilot. One is the now privated Wakey Wakey video, and the other is called New DHMIS Pilot Clip. However, it's since been claimed by Blink Industries. After browsing the r/DHMIS subreddit, I found that a lot of the dead links to the cam rip re-uploads had actually been claimed by Turner Broadcasting System. This was intriguing. Blink Industries would claim one video, but Turner Broadcasting would get another? So who really owned the copyright to the pilot? I think the most obvious answer here is Blink Industries, since they're basically the main DHMIS company. But I wouldn't be surprised if Turner Broadcasting also got a piece of that pie. Thus bringing me to the next point. So let's talk about distribution. I know you're already freaking out and ready to burn me at the stake because I said that the Sundance Film Festival was the only official release, and yeah, it was. But let's say hypothetically the pilot gets found, either officially released or someone finally leaks the full thing. How would that happen? Well, let's start with an official release. The only way I could see this happening would be through Blink Industries releasing it on the internet or doing some sort of special episode on Channel 4, maybe on their website or maybe on the YouTube channel, I have no idea. I really couldn't see it on the YouTube channel unless they unprivated the Wakey Wakey video and clarified that the pilot is a separate project from the TV show and web series, but I imagine they'd have to let Turner Broadcast know that the pilot is going to have a public official release. So now let's bring ourselves to the possibility of an unofficial release or a complete leak of the episode. It would most likely be some sort of cam rip of the episode. Obviously, any upload onto YouTube in its entirety would be copyright claimed and taken down. Putting it on Google Drive wouldn't work either, as the service prevents the upload of copyrighted content. Sure, it exists, but not for long, as Turner Broadcasting or Blink Industries would claim the link and take the video down. So how would you post it online? Well, maybe the Internet Archive. That's one way I could think of it. A lot of found pilots get put on there, and honestly, it's where a lot of found media ends up due to the archive's goal coinciding with the lost media community. Or it could go on Mega, which is a cloud sharing platform, kind of like Google Drive, but everything there is encrypted. So it's really not copyright enforced there. If you watch people who react to like whole TV shows, they often post their reactions, like full episode reactions on sites like Mega, and they're still up. So that kind of goes to show what the site is capable of. However, the build up to either of these scenarios would be that someone has a complete copy of the pilot. Obviously, Blink Industries has it, so we're just going to talk about a private cam rip copy. If someone by chance actually has a cam rip of the full version, it has to have been sitting on some sort of storage device like a flash drive or on a computer for some time now. Not to mention, most people kind of worry about facing copyright issues in the future, so they'd have to be willing to leak this pilot after so many years just because they wanted to, or because people on the internet wanted to see it, or whatever reason they may have. Regardless, it seems that there are various explanations as to why this pilot has not and may not resurface. Number 1, it's been a few years since its completion. Number 2, Wakey Wakey was taken down. And number 3, it's separate from anything in the series. So what happened to the DHMIS pilot? It was cancelled, completely finished, and unreleased, not counting Sundance. The actual TV series mentions the small community of Clay Hill in the episode Transport, simply saying that Clay Hill does not exist anymore. I think that's a good way to address the pilot from the creators. It basically shows that we won't be going to Clay Hill anytime in the future, whether that be in the show or seeing the pilot. Who knows though, with all the good reception that the Don't Hug Me I'm Scared TV show is getting, there could be a window of opportunity to release the pilot sometime in the future. It ultimately just depends on what the creators want, and if they feel the pilot should have an official public release. With everything that's happening in the series now and the renewed attention that the creators are getting, I think that in the end, there's an endless route of possibilities that this pilot could receive. We could get a full airing of the pilot, or they could probably just do an ARG or something. It's really not outside the realm of possibilities. Hey, just look at the old Kickstarter videos for DHMIS and you'll see what I mean. So yeah, I thought it'd be kind of cool to talk about this stuff in a video since I really enjoyed the new series. It's like when you get introduced to something you like and you hyper-focus on it and that's what you're really into now. I mean, I'd seen the web series before, but this is something else. Plus, I like the music. It's really good. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, maybe drop a like and consider subscribing. It's free, and you can click that bell icon to be notified of my next upload. It's great to be back. My socials are in the description below, and as well as the top of the screen. Tell me what you guys think will happen if this thing ever gets a full release in the comments below. Anyhow, as always guys, it's been a blast, and I will see you all next time. Peace!